Hey there, welcome to Main Street Living. I'm Cheryl Nelson.
Hey folks, I'm Quincy Carr.
And I'm Danielle Alvari.
Guys, it's summertime and it's the perfect time for travel. And you guys know I like to travel, right?
Right.
Yeah, where have you been to recently, Cheryl?
This past weekend, I went to California, flew into the San Francisco Bay Area. Love taking photos out the window there. That's a gorgeous sunset. And look at this. That was in Morro Bay on the Central Coast. Love the rocky shoreline. It's just beautiful. The palm trees, the mountains in the background. Definitely have an appreciation for that. Inland, though, it was so hot. 117 degrees in San Luis Obispo County compared to 60s at the coast. Crazy.
Wow. Yeah, well, while you were visiting in the States, the last time I traveled, I was on a cruise ship performing and ended up going to Spain. As you can see, the route of the ship or the Norwegian cruise line, and I got a chance to go to the beaches. And so I can't wait to travel again this summer myself. So
Absolutely. And then Danielle, you stayed local, right?
Yeah, I went to Topgolf for the first time. So just working on my golf swing this summer, like any good relaxing activity. You
Nice
want to do.
form. In Vegas, that's a playground all by itself. So I'd love to come out there and see you anytime. And guys, as always, we've got a great show for you planned today. We're going to take you to a plant and tree nursery and tell you the truth about aloe vera gel that you probably didn't know.
Also, Tucson, Arizona has a hidden food culture that you want to hear about. And we visit with a good-hearted person from Feeding San Diego.
We're also going to see a massive sports complex and get a taste of Louisiana on the West Coast. But first, stay tuned for your daily update from Tokyo right here on Main Street Living.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Danielle, Quincy. Okay, I've got a quiz for you guys. If I told you that the world's largest crawfish bowl was happening this weekend, where would you say it'd be happening?
I'd probably say Louisiana.
Not even close, actually. The world's largest crawfish boil is happening in San Diego, California, along with live music and all kinds of other activities. And here to give us all of the delicious details, we have Kevin Hellman. Kevin, thanks so much for joining us on Main Street Living.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
So the Louisiana State University Alumni of San Diego is putting on the world's largest crawfish boil on July 24th in San Diego's Waterfront Park. This is the 32nd annual event. So how did all of this get started?
It really just got started. Some of the folks that started the chapter in San Diego wanted to get together and, have a little party, and wound up with a couple hundred people that got together, and that's how it was born. And it's just grown naturally year after year after year. And, year 2 was 300 people, year 4, 400 people. And when we set the record for the largest crawfish boil, we had almost 5,000 people and 25,000 pounds of crawfish. I think that was back in 2016, and the Guinness Book of World Records came out to verify, how many people and how many pounds and all kinds of stuff that we had to do.
Wow. Well, so Kevin, I mean, you were talking about, the 25,000 pounds of crawfish, but how about the logistics? That's got to be complicated, man, to put all this together as a host.
Well, I mean, I do events for a living, so it's not that it's that complicated. It's more complicated getting 25,000 pounds of crawfish on a truck and getting them to San Diego without breaking down or when you cross from Arizona into California, you've got a vegetation station you got to go through, and explaining that every year is always tricky, especially post-COVID. It's really been tricky this year. Just the cost of the trucking is double what it normally is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're like, pay no attention to the large amount of crawfish in my car. So is there anything different going on this year? What do you have planned for this year's event?
We really just wanted to do the event this year. There's nothing that we're doing different. I mean, typically we bring bands out from Louisiana. We didn't do that this year. We've kept it more local. It is a little bit smaller because we're taking a few precautions to spread people out a little bit. But other than that, most people aren't going to notice that. We are, because we have to set it up. But it's just going to be a big fun party with about 3,000 people.
Wow. A lot of people in attendance, and I'm sure either it'll be mostly LSU alumni or where you have some folks who just want a little bit of Louisiana on the West Coast?
Well, first of all, it's open to anybody. It's not just an alumni event. Think of us as the sponsor. We're the promoter. So we're putting it on. It is open to anybody. Out of 3,000 people, I'm going to say maybe 300 are true alumni. Yeah. And then you've got the wives and, whoever's that hang on, and that gets you to 1,000 people. And then the friends of the friends of the friends and those that just want to come and have a great time. And like you said, enjoy a slice of Louisiana, in July. And it's really interesting because typically crawfish season ends June 15th because Louisiana, Texas. Remember a few months ago, there was that big freeze in Texas?
Yeah.
Obviously, it was cold, in the states surrounding that. And, they couldn't go out and farm crawfish for a few weeks. And then they got a lot of rain, which is typically when crawfish multiply. So crawfish season's kind of extended into late July this year, first time in a long time. Yeah. So knock on wood, we'll be getting a big shipment next week.
After you go to the vegetation station.
Exactly.
So you mentioned the crawfish. For those of us who haven't had the pleasure of eating one before, is there a proper way to eat a crawfish?
I don't know that there's a proper way. I mean, I think everybody has their own method. I mean, if you peel shrimp before, it's not a whole lot different. It's a hard shell. Usually you take off the head, you crack the first ring, and you squeeze the meat out of the tail. That's the simplest way to say it. Since I don't have one to show and tell today, that's about the best way to do it. But it's once you get the hang of it, you kind of get out of the way of those from Louisiana because they don't slow down.
Yeah, and
that sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm about to say, and I understand when it comes to that type of seafood as well, including crabs, you never indulge in this when you are starving. You always have to have a little food on your belly first because I'm impatient. So I'm trying to crack and it don't crack and I lose my mind. So, as far as like, tickets, how can viewers get tickets? Is it all inclusive or what?
Yeah, the way it works, you get your ticket at SanDiegoCrawfishBoil.com, and that includes your crawfish, corn, and potatoes. It includes unlimited beer, sodas, water, all the entertainment. So you really don't have to spend any money when you're there. However, if you want to purchase additional food, we've got half a dozen food vendors that'll sell you anything from Cajun food like jambalaya or gumbo. If you want dessert like beignets or ice cream, we've got a barbecue vendor. So somebody that might not eat shellfish but wants to come to the party, could still get something else to enjoy.
Oh gosh, that means Cheryl will be there. Cheryl's the other host.
For everyone.
Yes, she'll find a way. Thank you so much, Kevin, for being part of the show today, my man.
Oh, absolutely. Hope you guys can come out and enjoy, and everybody that's watching, please do the same. One thing I do want to point out, it's a benefit, and we raise money for a bunch of local charities, different charities every year. It kind of depends on how much we raise, but our main function is to provide scholarship funds for students that live in San Diego that are going to school at LSU. As you probably know, when you live out of state, doesn't matter what state, when you go to a university out of state, the tuition's triple what it normally is for in-state students. So we've raised a little over $1 million since this event started for our scholarship fund. And that's in addition to what we give to local charities. And we do somewhere between 10 and 20 grand a year. Locally.
Nice. Well, thanks. Yeah, man. Thanks for
great work.
People need that information as well. So I appreciate you, Kevin.
Yeah, we've got a good group, and we appreciate when folks like you guys, help us tell the story. It's a fun event, and it's an event that really helps others. So it's a good thing.
Awesome. Well, you guys take care and have a safe rest of the week, there, Kevin.
All right, thank you so much. Take care.
All right. Well, Danielle, many foodies know about Louisiana's unique cuisines, but up next, there's a local food scene in Arizona who's cooking up a little bit of competition. Stick around. It's got a lot more to come here.
Welcome back into Main Street Living. Cheryl, we saw at the top of the show there, you've been to California recently. Have you been doing a lot of traveling this summer?
I'm trying to. That's my passion. And one of the best things about traveling is trying the local food. So if you've ever considered a trip to Tucson, Arizona, the foodie scene may be the reason you decide to move it to the top of your travel menu. Check this out.
In December of 2015, the United Nations, through UNESCO, recognized Tucson as a creative city of gastronomy. Gastronomy is the nexus of culture and food. It's where they come together. Tucson was the first city in the United States to get that designation. Now we are one of 36 cities worldwide.
The UNESCO City of Gastronomy has had immeasurable impact for Southern Arizona. All of the agriculture and history of this particular region, all these amazing native ingredients that you can use in a functioning restaurant. It's really just been critical for the short, mid, and long-term success of our region.
We showcase the desert of Sonora and we showcase Tucson. That people forgot that Tucson or Arizona was Mexico one time. So to have those two merge and then be part of something huge and global, it is a huge honor just to be among those calibers of cities.
La tortilla de harina es muy importante acá en Tucson porque es la que le da el sabor al taco y tiene que ser auténtica mexicana. La tortilla la traemos de Hermosillo, nos llega una vez a la semana. De ahí empieza todo el sabor del taco.
We try to utilize local ingredients from our community. Everything is handmade, and it takes a lot of people to do the one product. We do presentations here in-house and we do tours so we can educate the community and really see how labor intensive it is for these artisan breads. And that's one of the keys, I think, making sure that we educate the community and so that we can make it last for the next generation.
I'm very proud to know that I have other food artisans in this community that are my colleagues, people I look up to and always look to for inspiration. I mean, these other producers that we have here, the food artisans that now have this designation, I think that's really a spark to all of us. We feel part of this group that's kind of leading the charge on local food production.
I'm proud that the Carriage House has received the certification with the City of Gastronomy. It recognizes the hard work that we do, discovering and working with and innovating with ingredients that go back here over 4,000 years. We cook here using the ingredients from the past with an eye to the future.
Wow, ladies, that does seem very labor intense regarding preparing the food.
Agreed. A lot of work goes into that. And you can find out more about Tucson's culture and learn about the other cities of gastronomy around the world at tucson.cityofgastronomy.org.
See, I like that. I like that show, helping others learn about food and cultures in other cities around the world, which now has me thinking more helpful about maybe helping my neighbor. See if they need anything. We'll be right back. What is his name? Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Now, ladies, many Americans have felt the financial pinch from the pandemic, of course, and for some, it's really meant that they are not sure exactly how to get food for themselves or even their family,
That's right. And Feeding San Diego believes that the answer lies in getting the excess food that's already out there into the hands and mouths of the people who need it. So here to talk to us about it today, Sam Duke, the volunteer manager from Feeding San Diego. Welcome to Main Street Living, Sam.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for having me. Welcome. Thank you for having me.
So for those of us who don't know or are new to the show, how is Feeding San Diego different from a traditional food bank?
Yeah, so we focus on food rescue. We partner with more than 300 retail locations around the county, and we have a decentralized approach that makes us a hunger relief organization that is more than the old school traditional food banking. A lot of our food doesn't come through the warehouse. It stays out in the community where it's being retailed at or sourced. So we don't even bring it in, obviously, to increase miles and pollution on the road. We just keep it where it's needed in the community.
Absolutely. And how great would you say the need is right now?
Yeah, it's really great. In San Diego County, according to the San Diego Hunger Coalition, there's more than 1 million people facing hunger, and that includes 284,000 children. So the need is great.
Wow. So I have to imagine you guys need a lot of volunteers. Do you guys rely on volunteers to get the food out to the community?
We do. Pre-pandemic, we work with more than 14,000 volunteers annually to help support our distribution efforts. During the pandemic, as you can imagine, that dropped just due to CDC guidelines. But yes, we rely on volunteers in our warehouse sorting food, packing food. We rely on volunteers at our large-scale distributions where we host drive-through distributions, as well as we utilize volunteers across the organization in quite a few skilled-based opportunities. And then we're looking to build a virtual army of volunteers to help us remotely.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And it brings me to my next question. With the pandemic, I know it was hard with fewer volunteers. How were you able to get through that?
Yeah, good question. So we work with a really core group of dedicated volunteers during the pandemic that helped us in our warehouse to pack the food. We also had to improve efficiencies because we had a lot less volunteers and helping hands, but still had the great need was there. So really just rethinking how we pack produce and how we distributed food with quite a few less volunteers.
Well, I have to imagine you guys have a lot of different options for volunteering and maybe even some that people wouldn't think of. So what are some of the skills that people could use and help you guys out?
Yeah, pretty much any skill we will find a use for it. We love the helping hands. Some of the main ones are, of course, a lot of office volunteers that help with data entry, aggregating data, research. We even have volunteers that would help our board of directors, broadcasting and marketing. Anyone who has a background in communications can help us. We're always looking for finance support, any background and any business or any skills you have. We could definitely put to use, and we really rely, again, as you know, volunteers to help us increase our capacity to get more food out and end hunger quicker. So I'm obviously the volunteer program manager, but really proud and really just want to bring in volunteers beyond those who want to handle produce. There's just so many other ways to get involved. So
I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because when you think volunteers at a food bank, that's what you think of: people moving boxes around, delivering food, that type of thing. But you're really looking for just about anybody. And how many volunteers would you say you work with?
Well, right now, again, just because of the pandemic, we're about over 1,000. But for these more specialized roles, again, because of the pandemic, we're probably at about 20, which is pretty good. But again, now that we're open back up and we have the opportunity to work with more individuals safely, we are just, definitely looking to expand to any capacity that anybody wants to help us, we would appreciate. So.
Something that I love to talk about when we bring you guys on too is how the face of hunger has kind of changed after the pandemic, and you guys do a really good job of reminding people it's okay to ask for help. So how has that changed, and how have people increased? Really, the need has increased.
Yeah, that's a good question, and that's something I like to talk about. Is that we just, doesn't really have a face anymore. It's our friends, our family, our coworkers, our neighbors. We support so many different populations, like indigenous populations, military, seniors, kids, families, disabled. If anyone is in need, we're here to help support them. Not only with the food, but we also support CalFresh assistance, so those federal food program.
All right. And how can our viewers get involved if they want to help? And can they help from afar too if they're not in San Diego?
Yeah, they definitely can help from afar. Of course, going to our website, feedingsandiego.org. Under the Get Involved section is where I live as a volunteer department. But on there it has all of our current available skill-based positions, but we recommend anyone going there to just share their skills or getting in touch with me. And as I said, remote, you can help us with research, you can help us with editing, grants from anywhere in the country or the world. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's something that every community faces for sure. So thank you so much for joining us again. Always good to see you guys.
Yeah, thank you for having us, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right. Coming up on Main Street Living, do you know if your aloe vera is the real thing? Trust me, you're going to be surprised when you hear what we have to say. We will explain that next.
Welcome back into Main Street Living. You guys know that summertime means being outside more, unless you're here where I'm in Las Vegas and it's 120 degrees outside. Not as much, but still finding ways to enjoy the sun. And honestly, if you're not diligent with the sunblock, usually can result in a sunburn.
Yes, I think we've all been there, right? Reaching for that bottle of aloe vera to soothe the burn. But did you know that many of the aloe products on the market that you buy don't have real aloe in them? Yeah, this is so confusing to me. Heather Florio from the Desert Harvest is an expert on all things aloe and is here to help us out. Welcome to Main Street Living. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So I didn't even know this is a thing. You're saying that there are some fake aloe products on the market?
Yes, so in 2016, Bloomberg did a study of, took aloe veras from lots of different big box stores, and they did independent third-party testing and found that all of these aloe veras had absolutely no actual aloe vera in them. And the reason is there is an ingredient called maltodextrin, which it's like a sugar substitute, and it can mimic on the typical tests that are done for it to go into production per FDA standards. It can actually mimic aloe vera on the test. So unless you do expensive, more in-depth testing, you're not going to find out that your product has absolutely no aloe vera actually in it.
Wait, are they lying on the labels? Like when it says...
Yes.
They're lying on the labels.
Yeah. So consumers would have absolutely no idea that they're just buying a sugar substitute. It's a cheap knockoff thing to sell a product.
Wow. So Heather, why doesn't the FDA just regulate aloe vera products?
Well, the thing is so even for companies like us, this testing that Bloomberg did is very expensive testing. We can't do this on every batch that comes out. And this is the only testing that is required for the FDA to sit there and say, okay, you pass the testing, you get a certificate of analysis, and your product goes to market. And so that is essentially, and skincare has even almost a lower bar than supplement industry, that type of thing. So skincare has even a little bit of a lower setting unless it's an over-the-counter drug, which aloe vera gelée is not.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. And I mean, I don't understand why these companies are doing this, because I would think it's got to be dangerous to mislead.
Money. How much can we sell with putting a cheap sugar substitute?
I can't. Is it dangerous to consumers to not know this?
It is dangerous in the sense that if you have a sunburn and you're trying to treat something therapeutically and you're not getting the benefit of the product that you are trying to put on your skin to reduce the inflammation, help speed the healing of your sunburn, then yes, you are doing yourself a disservice and a detriment.
Wow. Well, so let's talk about the red flags that consumers should be on the lookout for when purchasing these products then.
Again, as we mentioned before, it's really hard because these products were labeled correctly. They did have the correct label. So as a consumer, it is really hard to go in there and look and know for sure. I will give you some easy red flags, which your aloe should not be green. Aloe is clear. and so that's a big one. Number two, a big thing to look for is like inner leaf gel. This is, so when you open up an aloe leaf and you're looking inside, you've got the thick gel layer, and then below that you have a tiny thin yellow layer, which is the anthraquinones. These are latex chemicals naturally in aloe vera. When taken internally, they can irritate the colon, and externally they'll make, if you just take aloe directly from the leaf, it makes it all hard and cakey. So a cheap method is to just scrape off of the top and avoid the anthraquinones completely. We process the whole leaf because some of the best nutrients are down by the rind, and we want as much nutrients as possible in our product. So looking for inner leaf gel is another way to do it. On the label, it'll say it back there. It'll say aloe, inner leaf, whole leaf, inner and outer leaf. These are kind of some of the common terms. And then the only other thing that a consumer can do is really buy from a brand that you trust, a brand that you know that is reputable and has been making aloe vera products or in the aloe vera industry for quite some time.
Oh my goodness. There's just so much to learn, so many surprises about this. Where can our viewers go for more information?
So they're welcome to check out on our website. We have a whole host of information here at desertharvest.com. And if they check out our aloe vera gelée product, there's a whole host of information. Plus, we have an entire portal of research data and everything that people can reference and take a look at to help guide their decision making.
Awesome.
Wow. Oh my gosh. You've blown our minds today, but it's very good to know this information. Thank you.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Heather. Well, Cheryl, enjoying the outside doesn't always have to be on some exotic island. In fact, after the break, we'll have to show you how to create your own oasis in your backyard. So it's pretty cool. Can't wait to see that.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Danielle, Quincy, if you think it's time to upgrade your outdoor space this summer, adding plants and trees is a great way to make your yard more beautiful and more comfortable.
You know, and of course, most importantly, Cheryl, got to make sure that you're getting healthy plants that are going to grow and thrive for years to come. And our friends at Moon Valley Nurseries, they have the best quality plants for us. In fact, they have plenty of tips and expertise to turn your backyard into a private oasis. You guys got to take a closer look at this.
Hi everyone, I'm Sal with Moon Valley Nurseries and I'm the Director of Operations. So Moon Valley Nurseries got started about 25 years ago with a really cool story. We started off with a pumpkin patch. It was the very first thing we ever did and had one on the corner in Central Phoenix. And we're able to do well enough with that to be able to buy some Christmas trees for that same Christmas season a little later in the year. And had a great Christmas season, and we're able to parlay that into be able to start our very first nursery in the Moon Valley Country Club area of Phoenix, Arizona. The growing process for Moon Valley Nursery has definitely changed and evolved a lot over the years. We're really known for the concept of from our farms to your yard, and what that means is that we grow these things on our own facilities, our own farms. Our employees grow these things, take their time babying them until they get big and beautiful enough to get into the nurseries. We put them on trucks, deliver them to the retail stores. We work with our clients and design their properties and make sure their homes are going to look beautiful. Once we get the plants picked out, we deliver them, we install them, and we make your yard look awesome. We've been able to maintain the high quality of our products by being really very picky growers. It's an important part of our process. So we grow everything from our own mother trees, cuttings and seedlings from big mature trees that we know have taken off well, and control the things like the boxes they're grown in, to the soils and fertilizers that we use, even our water. We really control the water process and how often and what kind of water and how they're treated. And just making sure that the quality of trees we have is top notch, and you're only going to get the best of the best with Moon Valley Nurseries trees. Our mother tree's age will vary on tree to tree, so it might be, say, a 10-year-old palm tree, it could be a 20, 30-year-old shade tree, something where we've got enough tenure with it. We know that the best qualities in it exist, and we're taking those and taking those cuttings and seeds, and again, kind of cloning the tree and making sure it's the best one possible. The experience you're going to get with a Moon Valley Nursery employee is you're going to get somebody that's been doing this for a long time. Our professionals always work with design. We'll go to your home, we'll meet you at our properties here in the nurseries and take a strong look at what you're looking to do with your property, make sure it's a good fit for the plant and the placement, and make sure your yard looks beautiful when it's all said and done, so when we have a finished product, you're proud of it and we're proud to showcase it. Moon Valley Nursery currently operates 8 locations in the Phoenix metro area, and we're definitely looking to grow. That's what we've been known to do over the years, so we'd love to be in more locations here in Arizona. We have stores in Mesa, Chandler, Scottsdale, Arcadia, Central Phoenix. We have Surprise, North Peoria, and Avondale currently, where we have retail locations. Great facilities, big farms to come in and choose lots of trees and shrubs out of. The future for Moon Valley Nursery is just like always. We're growing like crazy. We're putting in more facilities, more farms. We're hiring great employees. There's gonna be 1,000 more trees to come in and pick out. And of course, you can always come into Moon Valley Nurseries and go straight to the moon, get the best trees available and put them in your yard right away.
Oh, guys, I wish I lived closer. That looks like a really cool place to visit. I love going to nurseries. We just bought some more rose bushes for the backyard, so it's always a fun thing to do.
Yeah, and I just recently killed my most recent plant, so it's time for me actually to head back to a nursery. So luckily, and maybe I'll get some tips while I'm there. So Moon Valley Nurseries have 41 locations nationwide. Head to their website, moonvalleynurseries.com, to find the location nearest to you. But don't go anywhere, because next up, there's going to be a new place to play in Arizona, and it's massive. You don't want to miss this.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. We are chugging along here, and for many of us, summer is all about getting outside and playing while the weather is nice, right, guys?
Right.
Absolutely. And if you're in Arizona, the weather is nice all year, so there's lots of opportunities to play, and soon there will be a world-class sports complex to take advantage of. Take a look at what Legacy Sports has in the works.
My name is Chad Miller. I'm one of the principals and CEO of Legacy Sports USA. We're standing at the future home of Legacy Sports and Family Entertainment Park here in Mesa, Arizona. The original concept came from Randy Miller, who is my father. We were talking 4 soccer fields, 4 softball fields, and maybe a small bar restaurant on the site. That vision has continued to evolve to what it is today. It is now a 320-acre family sports entertainment park that's $250 million, which is the largest family sports entertainment park in the country of its kind. The whole vision behind Legacy Park was to really give back to the community first and ingrain ourselves and partner with local club organizations and these types of youth sports movements. So we're very fortunate to have organizations such as Altitude Volleyball, Elite Basketball, Rush Volleyball, Arsenal Soccer Club, and a countless number of others. These clubs now have a world-class facility to call their own, and we're very fortunate to partner with them and have these clubs be powered by Legacy. This facility is open to anybody and everybody, so all different clubs from not only the state of Arizona, but throughout the country and even the world can utilize Legacy as their future home. We offer a world-class esports multi-use gaming facility, which is unbelievable. So not only if you're a gamer, but you also love the traditional style of maybe a Dave & Buster's or Fat Cat Center, we have something like that here for you as well. We also have one of the largest pickleball facilities in the Western United States. 41 pickleball courts, including a stadium and championship pickleball court. Unbelievable the types of events that we can host with pickleball, which is the fastest growing sport in the country. We have organizations who have partnered with us that are, using our facility for their tournaments from California, Texas, Washington, New Jersey, Florida, Chicago. We even have several from South America, several from England. Really, this vision goes far, far beyond just Arizona. In year 1 of operations, we'll actually be driving over 5 million people through this park, which will make us the second most touristed destination spot in the state of Arizona, behind only the Grand Canyon. We really want to encourage everybody to come out and explore all the wonderful amenities and everything that we have to offer. So if you don't play sports, that's okay. Come out and enjoy one of our fabulous other things that we have here, and I promise you'll be leaving with an experience that you've never gotten anywhere else.
Oh, guys, that's so cool. The pickleball. My dad and his brothers would be all over that.
I mean, so much to do there, obviously. I mean, a massive complex. I think he said the biggest in the country, right?
Yeah. Well, one thing's for sure is you can find more information about Legacy Sports Complex in Mesa, Arizona, and keep track of their construction process at legacysportsusa.com. Straight ahead, a little bit more Main Street Living.
Welcome back into Main Street Living, guys. What a great show. It really inspired me to want to get outside, put some sunscreen on, and read my aloe vera label.
Oh my gosh, don't get me started on the aloe vera. That blew my mind.
Yeah, just a lot of good content on the show today. And of course, don't forget to catch us on our Cox Contour app for more content.
Definitely. And we have new episodes of Main Street Living Mondays, 9 p.m. local time. So catch us then as we take another stroll down Main Street.